I could envision that being some kind of science experiment, whereas skill doesn't even have the dignity of being an interesting science experiment. So I think this might be slightly more interesting for some very deep builds, but I don't imagine they're very good. And I think for an average character sheet, there's literally no reason to take this.
Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the feat. What is it? Weapons Master.
Yeah,
Weapon
just
Master.
Weapon Master. Yeah. This is a really short feat for the PHB. I didn't think this was in the player's handbook. I was like, they released this when? It just slipped my mind because I don't think it needs to exist.
No, it really doesn't.
Uh, you've practiced extensively with a variety of weapons, gaining the following benefits. Increase your strength or dex score by 1 to max 20. Great start. We need anything else to qualify this as a feat. You
Unfortunately,
the other line of text, and there's only one more. You gain proficiency with 4 weapons of your choice. Each must be a simple or martial weapon. So, who needs this?
that
Anyone?
that is what I'm wondering. Like, if no,
No one? Nothing?
I don't. Nothing's coming to mind. I mean, I cannot see a reason for anyone to take this. I mean, like, all right, let's just go with the obvious, I guess. Is that obvious? I don't know. I'm a wizard or sorcerer, and I want to fight with a great sword.
I don't think that's the intended route.
I don't. What is it then?
So I think the idea is you're a bard that's College of War, or
Okay.
you're a swords bard, and you aren't getting the exact proficiencies you want, so you take this, right? Like you're a warlock pact of the blade that wants a better utility belt as far as weapons go, so you pick up this, get a plus dex to convert an even to an or an odd to an even, get the mod bump, get the extra 2 weapons that you wanted real bad. You're good to go. Take crossbow expert, do whatever degenerate things you want to do from that point, right? I don't see this as a feat that needs to exist though, because all of the characters that generally speaking want specific weapons get them. Like
Yeah,
Bard, College of War, and College of Valor, or College of Valor, that's the one, right?
we have
Uh,
swords and valor.
I'm pretty sure Valor gets weapon proficiencies. I'm pretty sure Swords gets either the Bard has weapon proficiencies they want, or they just like they get the ones they need. Like yeah, College of War or College of Valor, you get proficiency with medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. So you don't really need it here. So then you would go to like, okay, maybe you're some kind of weird blade lock thing. If you go Hexblade, you get all the proficiencies you need anyway, and Pact of the Blade lets you become proficient at any weapon of your choice by just making your pact weapon. That's not ranged, notably. So like maybe you want the ranged options and don't want to invest the invocation to get the ranged options on your sheet, but you could always use a short bow, and it's not that much worse than a longbow. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be for the hybrid characters. It's supposed to be the characters that are like, I am a sword and sorcery kind of option. I take this to get the better weapons. Don't just take other better feats that give you more utility or more damage or more other things, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is why I said in the beginning. Like, yes, if you are playing any of these, you're already getting the weapon proficiencies you need. So that's why I started off saying, I guess this is for sorcerers that want to wield a great axe or whatever.
And
But
there's just no
then
reason to
why
do
are
that.
you a sorcerer?
Yeah, exactly. There's not any real compelling reason in 99% of cases to do that. In the worlds where you do want to do some kind of cheese build that involves using a greatsword on a sorcerer, 1 level in fighter, 2 levels in fighter comes with action surge. And all
Hmm.
the proficiencies you want, and it doesn't cost you a feat. It costs you a little bit slowdown on your like spellcast progression, which I think is a decent deal given the weight feats tend to have. Those kinds of builds don't really have room to lose a feat for Great Weapon Master, Crossbow Expert, Sharpshooter, Lucky, whatever it is, the busted feat of the week that they want to go with. You take one of those ones. You don't
Well,
take
that's the other thing
this.
I was thinking. Like, all right, maybe they want, they need a particular weapon that they don't get access to without this feat, because they want to take advantage of another feat, but now you're like 2 feats into the build, and that's
start
not where I
playing.
want to be. Yeah.
Like to start with what you want your build to be with, you need to have at least 2 feats. That seems
And I
like,
can't actually think of any examples of that either.
yeah. Maybe it's like barbarian. Do barbarians get martial weapon proficiency? I'm assuming they do. Like maybe you're a monk, but then you can't use your martial arts with it because you're not attacking with a monk weapon. I don't get it. I don't think this has any point existing. It's kind of like that you get like skilled, right? Getting proficiency in 3 skills just isn't worth it because you have the skills you need and your party covers the rest.
No,
This is the
see,
same deal.
this is not the same because you could ostensibly use more skills. This, I mean, yeah, you could use different weapons. I could use a pike rather than a halberd, I guess, whatever. But I don't think it's going to have any effect. Whereas if I got more, I'm not high on skilled, but I'm just saying, if you just want a bunch of skills, you can use a bunch of skills to different effects.
You can use a bunch of weapons if you're like, if
To
we
the
narrow
same
this,
effect, though.
they do different things. I'm not high on skilled. I don't think there's
I'm not
any
either.
reason why a character would put that on their sheet. I can not see a reason why this would work either, though. So, like, I guess I'm just trying to argue this is as bad as skilled, but it might just be worse than skilled, and you're right, and it's
I'm
fine.
pretty sure it's worse. Like I said, skilled has potential,
I mean,
whereas I don't feel like this does.
I could envision real worlds where there is some very specific build that needs every single level in a specific class and doesn't have room to take any dips and needs access to one weapon for a feat down the road. So they go very human weapon master, get the hand crossbow, then take crossbow expert at 4, and then they're off to the races on their crossbow expert sorcerer.
Yeah, maybe.
I could envision that being some kind of science experiment, whereas skill doesn't even have the dignity of being an interesting science experiment. So I think this might be slightly more interesting for some very deep builds, but I don't imagine they're very good. And I think for an average character sheet, there's literally no reason to take this. So I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 5. Total trash,
Oh, yeah,
trap feat, right?
I don't think it's a trap. I don't think anybody wants this. I'm
Good.
sure we'll hear it differently in the comments, but
I will say, like, the
no,
floor is like a +1 mod is better than anything skilled gives you. So
yeah,
that is a
that
thing this does.
that's true.
You're not really slowing down your
All right,
hit
well, there,
progression for
I
this.
guess that counts as making the trap.
Yeah. I
All
can
right,
see.
but yeah, I'm giving this a 1 too, and that's that's something when you've got an ability score improvement.
I mean, like, that's what Bludgeoning or Crusher, Slasher, Piercer all give you an ASI bump too.
Yeah, but those
Sorry, an
do stuff.
ASI. Yeah, and they do something. And we're not the highest on any of those. You're higher on Crusher, I'm higher on the other two because
Yeah,
I want to spite you. So that leaves, like, this is a worse version of all of those because at least you should use your weapons slightly better in some capacity as opposed to just being able to use some weapons. In the next edition, they're coming up with this thing called like weapon properties or something. That you get expanded bonuses for and maneuvers and kind of like properties weapons get. So they should be a little bit more varied. I'm hoping. I
yeah.
haven't read it extensively, and if that's the case, this becomes a little bit more interesting because now all of a sudden they have like kind of unique abilities. But until then, this is not something you ever want on a character sheet. Don't take it. Garbage feet for garbage characters.
One it is. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for watching. Like I said before, I'm sure we are going to have some opinions on this. So let us know. What did we miss? When is this useful? I'm dying to know. All right. That was Weapon Master. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.